Check, check. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. Coming at you from the North Texas V1 HQ. Sitting on the ramp here in Microsoft 2024 in San Francisco. I did some flying out west on my last trip, and you know what? As we were climbing away, looking down at the beautiful landscape, I was thinking to myself, we haven't flown out west in quite a bit. We used to fly out west all the time in the sim. Then you guys got tired of it, so then we stopped flying out west, but it's time to go back. We got a beautiful flight lined up for us today. San Francisco to Vancouver in Air Canada Rouge 737 MAX 8. Yes, my favorite airplane to fly in the 737 family is the MAX 8. Got a lot of MAX time. I had a 6.5 hour flight from Florida to San Francisco in the MAX, and then another 5 hours from San Francisco to Chicago, and then Chicago to Newark on the next day. So it was a long trip, coast to coast, and then from the top of the eastern seaboard all the way back down to the southeast Florida, so down to Miami. That was basically hit all three, not all four corners, but hit three corners of the United States in 3 days, all in Maxes, and we are ready to rock and roll. I know the iFly has an update coming out. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know if they're doing any pre-release stuff with it, if they're even going to do that or not. I don't have it. I wish I did, because I'd love to see what kind of new update they got coming to the Max, but I spent so much time in it this last trip, I said I want to see what it feels like in the sim again. So here we are, ready to rock and roll. What's up, Al? Good to see you, man. Beautiful weather out here in Texas, man. It's beautiful. Whoa, you're flying the Rouges, only 737. Nice, Prodigist. Osco Stick, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. Alexander, what's up? Good to see you. Delta Tango's in the house. Eastern T3. Digital America in the house. Zippy's Apple, delayed takeoff. I'm running to the gate. TSA is screwing me here. Uh-oh, are you getting randomed? Yeah, that's a random crew member. Eastern T3, good to see you. AFO's in the house. Mike85, good to see you. Cloudbound Sim and Brad Ward, many more in the chat. Welcome all. Good to see you. Turk's in the house. What's up, man? West Coast greater than the East Coast. Dude, I can't stand the East Coast, man. Like, anytime I go to the East Coast, I just get a pit in my stomach. I hate it. I hate everything about the East Coast. I don't want to fly there. Don't want to live there. I'm so tired of it. I'm so burnt out on it. It's just exhausting. Like, I might just go work for SkyWest and fly on the West Coast only. I can't do it anymore, man. I can't do it. Can't do East Coast. It's too much traffic. The visuals aren't as good. The weather is always crap, and it's just, I'm tired of the East Coast, man. All right, let's rock and roll. No harm, no hurt feelings for Bill's Mafia, though. For anybody who lives on the East Coast, I'm sure you guys enjoy it and you love it. I mean, there are some cool areas. You know, I fly over Pittsburgh and stuff, and you look down, you see the rolling hills. It looks like there could be some beautiful land out there in Pennsylvania and stuff like that, but it's just not. As time has gone on, and my unwilling, forcefully basing on the East Coast my whole career, I just can't stand it, man. Like, it just. Bleh. All right. Clearly never had a lobster roll. No, I do. Hey, listen. I didn't say the food wasn't good on the East Coast for the plane guy. I love the lobster roll. Portland, Maine, best lobster roll I ever had in my life. Looking forward to going back there one day and getting another one. But the West Coast, man, as far as flying is concerned, it's where to be. The flying's better. The visuals are better in real life visuals. It's just better all around, man. The weather's better. So it's just it's more dynamic stuff going on. How dare you cast aspirations on the East Coast unsubbed? I know I'm probably going to lose a couple subs on that one. All right, let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's fire up the 737 MAX 8. I do have my WinWing stuff working except my EFIS, because I guess I didn't save the last time I set up my EFIS for the MAX, and I don't want to bind all the buttons again. But we'll see how MobiFlight handles this thing. But let's go ahead and fire this puppy up. Look at this beautiful cockpit. I mean, you guys know I'm anti-G1000 and anti-screens, but the Max has got it going on. You know, even when I'm in the Max real world, it's just so nice to have all this display in front of you. It really is. I mean, it's a nice little airplane. Now it's still a 737, but in terms of hand flying, man, she's a dream to fly. But I like the screens in the Max. I think the only airplane that I like big screens in is the 737 MAX. You know, I'd take a MAX over a 350 any day. All right, or especially, what's that global, what is it, the Global 750, where it's just all screens, the entire cockpit, the overhead is screens. I saw one of those coming into Newark as we were holding short, a G750, or no, it was whatever, the Global 750, right, the 7,500 mile one, like, does like 9.8 Mach or something. Pretty wild. But yeah, I like this. This is the perfect blend for me. All right, so oops, wrong button. Ooh, we got another Air Canada 777 out there. What do we got on the side over there? Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and fire this airplane up. Take a listen to the sounds. We do have Boris did the sounds for the 737 MAX 8. So we get the battery switch on. Let's connect the ground power. As ground power gets connected, we'll run up to the top here. Let's start moving some stuff. Throw these into align nav, align nav. That's on, that's on. Let's do some... Blackbird Controls is in the house. What's up, my man? Dropping the 10 gifted subs to the channel. Blackbird, appreciate you, man. Very kind. If you pick up... Oh, wow, that's cool. If you pick up a membership from Blackbird Controls, make sure you shout them out and say thank you. We are rocking the Blackbird 737 levers again. Once again in the 7.3 MAX. So appreciate all the support, man. Hope all is well, Blackbird. And thank you again for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate you, man. Very, very kind. All right, up to the top, everything looks good. Let's juice up this panel here, shall we? Since it's we're kind of in and out of the clouds. I was gonna wind the sim time back, but then, you know, I don't know. Let's rock real time, live weather. We are starting a little bit earlier than normal today. That's because I wanted to have enough time to pick up the kids after school and get a couple other things done. Everything else looks good here. We hop outside, check our emergency gear pins, that's closed, and we'll go do our pre-flight walk around, which we're not going to do because the iFly 7.3 MAX is basically it is a P3 board externally, and there's not a whole lot of good stuff to look at out there. So we're going to skip the walk around. Let's go ahead and continue with the overhead flow. Get the yaw damper switch on. Fuel, we have center tank fuel right now, but we probably are not going to need it, but I'll turn it on for now. Let's put this up onto the APU gen. Put you at 12 o'clock. Get the cabin utility IFE passenger light switches on. Coming down the middle, let's go armed emergency exit light switches. That looks good. No smoking. Come off. Fasten seatbelts are off for right now. Window heats 1, 2, 3, 4 coming on. Hydraulics look good. Test the CVR. Beautiful. Pressurization. Trim air is on. Got the fancy panel here. It's nice and cold in here. Recircs are auto. I tell you what. Can we turn this off or? Ah, yes, we can hear ourselves think a little bit. Turn the recirc off for right now. Pack switches in auto, open APU bleed off. All right, let's take a look at our flight plan. Since I despise the 7.3 MAX EFB that iFly provided with us, I have downloaded my flight plan on my real-world iPad, and I'm just going to use that for reference today, so I don't have to pull out those charts. We might pull out a couple charts, but... what is our cruise altitude? Cruising over there, 340, and I'm assuming Vancouver is 0 feet, so that's fine. Coming across here, got the new light panel. I'm flying today. We'll put that on left. Logo light could come on. That's in the steady position. Coming across the board, let's get our programming cam up. Let's go ahead and make sure we are terrain. I don't think I have that bound. Yeah, terrain is set. Flight director, auto throttle, flight director. Well, don't know why it won't let us. Well, let me arm the auto throttle with my... Oh, why are we moving? What's happening? What's happening? Why are we sliding? Why are we sliding, chat? Why are we sliding? What is happening? No, it's not a WASM crash. Why on earth did we just slide forward? That's the IRs on, and we just moved during alignment too. That's gonna cook our alignment. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, we didn't start aligning it though, did we? No, the parking brake is set. We were still sliding. What do I find the system page? Is it because I needed chocks or something? I'm afraid if I reset it, I'm just gonna restart it. I feel like if I reset, it would just be out of alignment. I'm just going to reset. That is the first I've ever seen that happen. All right. Happens to you all the time after replays. Parking brake not doing squat if the hydraulics are off. Well, that defeats the whole purpose of the accumulator. Alright, so I tell you what, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's initialize flight. Let's go to this stupid system page, sim menu, ground support. Let's chalk it all and connect it. How about that? Alright, now did that shut my window shades? Hopefully, no, kept my window shades open. Alright, well, let's try this one more time. We didn't get very far, so... Well, you just get to see the overhead flows again. Alright, let's do that again. Yaw damper, that's coming on. Boom, boom, APU gen, that looks good. That's coming on, armed, off. Window heat's coming on, hydraulics can stay off. That's been tested. Turn the recirc fan off so it's quieter in here. Auto, bleeds open, 340. Logo lights coming on, steadies are coming on, everything else looks good. I'm flying today across the board, terrain up. I wonder if, surely it's not a Moby flight thing, is it? Let's see what happens if I launch Moby flight one more time. Well, Moby flight is allegedly running. Yeah, Moby flight's running. So, flight director. I'm going to just click the auto throttle. And another flight director. Okay, that looks good. Weird. Let's set our course line in there, 280. I don't know why my course line won't show in the Moby flight. But that's alright. Let's set this up. We're going to be departing 28 left for departure. 284. 284. Heading 284. Why aren't my headings showing up either? Well, that's gross. TMU 737. That's what happens when you want to fly a max. PMDG 73 when? Alright, 284 on the headings across the board. What's up, Captain Minnesota? Good to see you, my man. Your iFly works wing without. Yes, it does, but you know what yours doesn't? Yours doesn't have the, you don't have this FMC. If I want to rock my 747 FMC with the ATC VNAV button here, I can't use SimMap Pro. So, because I want to use a different, this is the 747 panel. That's why I got this rocking and rolling. Fly USMC, what's up? Thanks for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Did you add the left tank BC? You have fuel there. No, I haven't messed with anything with the fuel yet. I didn't mess with anything with the fuel yet, my man. But we're going to come down here and we're going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and do a test. And there's the bottom light. There it is. Lights, tapes, and 8s. Beautiful. We checked the wheel well fire. That one, that's the only one that doesn't illuminate in the real airplane too. That is correct. All right, back to normal. Coming down through here. Testing. Testing. I will tell you what, pre-flighting the NG is way cooler than pre-flighting the Max because there's just more switches. Fuel, back to reset, rate, RTO. Let's get the engine and system page and we'll flip those like so. And clear the caution. I think we're ready to rock and roll now. So now we can do some actual programming. FMC, pause and knit. Let's go to work here. Let me pull out my flight plan one more time. Alright, let's go ahead and get the GPS left. Bring you in here. Route, flight plan, request. And I'll get the rest of the floodlights up. Air Canada, I like it. Nice schedule. Leaving for Punta Cana tomorrow. Getting some much needed vacation. Ooh, Punta Cana. Very nice. Canadian PT6. We'll have a good vacation, man. Hope you enjoy it, dude. Thanks for the support. And have a wonderful flight and vacation. Hopefully you got some time down there, you know. Let's get the panel lights up here. We'll squawk 2000. Oh, did our Iveo disconnect? Nope, we're still on Iveo. That looks good. All right. 2,000 on the squawk. Flight plan is loaded, so we're going to activate, execute. Now, this departure is going to be pretty sweet. Trucking 2, which is what I did real world just the other day. I did not expect to make the... I don't know. In my mind, the departure was going to look different, and then when we did it, it looked way cooler. So Trucking 2... Let me get my flight plan up here. We're on the Trucking 2 RNAV to Deadhead. Out to Deadhead. Execute that. Then we're going to go to departure arrival index. We're going to go CYVR. What are we landing up there in the old Canada land? In Canada. I didn't check. What did my sim brief plan? They have us planning the Grizz 9 to 26 left. Does that sound legit? That sounds legit enough to me. ILS Zulu 26 left on the Grizz 9. And pane field, pane transition, execute. Legs, route data, winds request. Can we get winds on the iFly? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Let's go back up top. Let's get this back on. Auto. Do I play on VATSIM? Nah, man. Nah, don't. VATSIM is banned. I'm banned from VATSIM, but I use Iveo most of the time. All right, we're out. There, well, look at that. Nice delay. That's actually pretty accurate. I should get some ETAs in there, but that might just because we're not aligned yet. All right, now we're going to do the VNAV page descent forecast winds. This should, when you request the winds for the legs, you should get descent winds at the same time. That's how ours works. Is that a Fan 2 wind control? No, this is the 747 flight plan. I'm using MobiFlight. Yeah, isn't that pretty sweet, though? Because I got the real buttons there. So this is the closest to the Fans 2 FMC that you're going to get. The only difference is the NavRad switch would be your N1 button. That would be your N1 limit. Everything else is matched up. So this is why I got the 747 FMC to be able to use the Fans 2, and I'm using it through MobiFlight. So that's what we got cooking there. All right, that's all done. A NIT ref. A 0 fuel weight. Let's bring... oh, hold up. We actually have to load this manually. I always forget. I always forget how to load this stinking... Why won't you clear? Airplane. We have to do it through the... Oh, my gosh. We got to use this Boeing FMC. So let's go over here, or EFB. And we're going to go to Payload and Performance. And we're going to go to Weight and Balance. And I got to pull up my sim brief again because iFly decided to port everything from 2009. If it wasn't a max, I would not fly this ever. But let's see what we can do here. Passengers were maxed out 178 packs. 178. All right. Cargo. We have 11,000 pounds, so let's load 9,000, and let's load. Actually, I did that wrong. Let's just split it. Because I don't know what the CG is gonna look like. I'm not a load master, so we're just gonna do that. So we'll set payload, and we've set packs. Cargo is set. Other, we don't need to worry about fuel. And total fuel we need for today's trip, 14,287. Let's round that up. Let's make it an even 14,500. And we're moving again. Why are we moving again? Are you freaking kidding me? Why are we sliding? We're even chalked. We were chalked. Are you freaking kidding me, iFly? That's terrible. iFly should be embarrassed of themselves. I'm getting ready to throw these, like, Temu products, the CSS, the iFly Max. I'm getting ready to just not fly them ever. You may switch to pmdg now. I'm going to get the APU running. And if this messed with our alignment, which I'm pretty sure it did, we're not going to fly this POS. Or we just won't fly it. I might just alt it for the stream, to be honest with you. We'll see. I really wanted to fly the Max today. Looks like it's time for a caravan stream. You know, we could do that. We could. Technically, the vote was tied. All right. We should have the APU. I've got my hydraulics on, so if they think for some reason that that's a problem, but I bet you this cooked our alignment. Either that or it's not modeled. It's probably not even modeled. Movement. It's still counting down. I don't have IRS on the recall, so we might be alright. We might be alright. The L1011 wants to fly? No, I want to fly this 144.3 reserves of 5,000 feet for VFR. Cruise altitude 34.0. Let's do the N1s. All right, TO1. Are we going to derate today? No, because it's wet. Are we doing let's do a 29K bump because it's Boris. We'll do normal climb thrust. Wait, what? How is a 28K takeoff a 93.2 N1, but a 29K bump is a 94 one? Okay, it did go up. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Okay, cool. 94, doing a 29K bump, 94. Takeoff. We'll do, I'm trying to remember, what did I take off with? I think we used flaps 1. We'll use flaps 1. Actually, you know what? For the juice, let's do flaps 5. CG 23, 6.3 on the trim. So let's set our trim. Nice 5 FPS trim wheel there. 23. We got 39, 41, 52. 39, 41, and 52. Our auto. It's like the auto throttle makes us move or something. Like it's getting thrust. I'm going to leave the auto throttle off for right now. So the auto throttle is off. The airplane's on bus. Get the APU bleed on. Let's get everything going. Let's get some more air. No more center tank fuel. So we'll get these all on. That's coming off. And we are on gen, so that looks good. Yaw damper tripped off as well. That should get back. Speed trim fail. That's because we're not aligned. Hopefully she aligns here. Any second now. We'll see. And Tips Ping, what's up? Thanks for the $5 soup. Chalks were set. They were set, man. Tips Ping, thanks for $5 soup chat. It's not just iFly. It happened to me in the Phoenix a little while ago. Really, a Tipsy Penguin. Could it be a sim bug? I don't know. That means they're updating stuff behind the wheels? I don't know, because I didn't update my sim at all. Thanks for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate you. I haven't had any problems with the iFly bought a week ago for 2020. Well, that's because you're flying 2020, my man. Ain't nobody flying 2020 anymore. Need bigger chocks, indeed. Well, I'm curious what's going to happen now, because technically we were still hooked up. We were still hooked up on ground power. Let me go back and figure out what's going on here. Sim menu, ground support. Everything got pooled. So the top chocks got pooled, the GPU got pooled, which is fine. I'm going to hit clear all failures just in case we had a failure, and I tell you what we're going to do. Can I find the alignment? That's ACARS. Where, if you were alignment time, would you be under panel style? Where would alignment time be? Because the time my IRS aligns definitely fits under the type of panel style I have. Autopilot navigation, maybe? Not a navigation. Oh, gosh. Where would you be? Autopilot, ground procs, control, general. No. You're not in general. Other systems. Realistic alignment. Give me an instant alignment. Alright, so that's done. But I have a feeling you're not going to align. What does this say? It says 3 minutes. It's still counting down. Let's give it its 3 minutes. Alright, we can review the rest of the departure. Let's hit Magic Barrel Ref. We got 10,000 set. Terminal charts. Oh no. Oh, is it working? KSFO. KSFO. Okay, so complete. Where's my charts? There we go. Edit clip. 10.9. So we're parked over here at Alpha 12. We're going to taxi Alpha 12 Golf. We're going to cross both runways, continue Golf Foxtrot. Excuse me, Golf Lima Foxtrot, full length runway 28 left. That is our plan for getting out of here. Edit chart clip. What about edit clip? Truckin'. Where would you be if you were the truckin'? Tiptoe visual. Are we on the gap? No, we're on the truckin'. Where's the truckin'? Truckin' 2. There we go. Complete. Truckin' 2 RNAV. So, this is what I'm telling you. This is what happened to me in a real airplane. There's terrain out here. There's actually an engine out SID that you'd have to comply with here that we load in the box, but we don't have it in the iFly. But 210 max climbing, max 210 knots in the right turn. For some reason, in my mind, I thought it would look a lot different than when I actually flew it, because you turn before the hills. And when you turn before the hills, when you're navving out here to Truckin', it is a beautiful view of downtown San Francisco. And then we're going to hit Truckin' and go left. Hopefully we'll see the Golden Gate Bridge and the Alcatraz Island, all that wonderful stuff. I have Oakland off the right. But with the weather, the way what it's doing, we may not actually see it. But that is the plan. That is our SID. So we've got that. You've been briefed. I've been briefed. Looks like the aircraft did align somehow, but we don't have any. We don't have any stuff. 1, 2. Auto throttle is armed at 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get everything on. Get out of here before we start moving. Hydraulics, check our hydraulic pressure systems. We got 3,000 psi on the right. That looks good. We'll get the engine page up for start. I'm going to flip you over to the first officer side for engine starting. Anti-collision lights coming on. Door lights are all out. And we are ready for push and start. Left Alt P, brakes released. Let's see what happens here. San Francisco traffic, Rouge 357 pushing back off Alpha 12. We're going to be taxiing 28 left of full length. All right, let's run through. Let's run through a before takeoff checklist. Or excuse me, a before start checklist. So, parking brake is, we already done all that. Let's go down. Probe heat's on, hydraulic panel is set, doors, windows closed and locked, anti-collision light is on. Before start checklist is complete. I enjoy the iFly a lot. I'll say I'd rather use Microsoft 24 Lido interface on the tablet, Navigraph for a little nav map for taxi monitoring. Really? Yeah. You could. You could use the tablet. Now, this is a default push. I'm curious what he's going to do with us. I'm just going... We might have to make a hard left. Which is fine by me. Cockpit on, push complete, set brakes. Alright, push complete, brakes set, clear disconnect. We're going to start up engine 2, then 1. Alright. Yeah, that's what I'm using, TPR. I'm using my own charts on the left, but I wanted to show you guys. Sometimes you guys like to see in the charts what we're doing. So, alright, let's go ahead and ground engine 1. Let's monitor the real life starting. These engines are pretty cool, so if this aircraft sat overnight, this would probably start right up. And you're not going to start when you have the packs on. Let's give it a motor. I'm curious to see how long she motors. We got the chrono going. So when the airplane is hot, I think it's pretty consistent. A minute 33 is how long it motors when the engines are hot. About a minute 33 before you get fuel. When it's cold, sometimes it happens right away. Like this, that seems pretty realistic. Let's go ahead and fuel on. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, it's starting to rain again. That's awesome. Alright, so these engines are cold. We got a good start on 2, so we'll isolate, we'll ventilate. Should we try to single engine taxi out? Nah, it's wet. Let's go ahead and let's get out of Air Canada's way. So let's go ahead and grounding 1. So good. Wait for it. Absolutely love it. I need to be on 22.8 for Air Canada here. Alright, 22.8 is up. We got a good start on 2. That's coming. Auto, generator 1, generator 2. APU bleed is off. APU is coming down. Outside air temp is 14. No engine anti-ice required. After start checklist, please. Anti-ice is off. Generators on. Air conditioning and bleed set. Flaps coming to 1. Flight controls. And flight controls for increase, tops, bottoms, recall, check. San Francisco traffic, kind of 357 taxi, 2-way left, Foxtrot Golf crossing runway 1s, and then Lima for length.
Correction to San Francisco traffic, American 821 heavy pushing back stand Alpha 5.
Listen to that nose wheel scrubbing. 1 month, 1 more month for 2 years. Pixelated, my man. Thank you for the 23 months of support. Glad to have you on board, my man. Appreciate you. 1 more month, dude. That's awesome. Atul, good to see you, man. 2 years of support. He says, damn, I hit 2 years. Time flies, doesn't it? 2 years of having fun, man. Thank you so much for the support, Atul. Appreciate you. Time flies when you're having fun. That's what they say, right? All right, we're finally settling back down. We'll get these closed out. That looks good. Let's get our TCAS on TARA. All right, TARA is set 2,000. We're squawking that. Auto throttle is armed.
567 Foxtrot, crossing 1 left, 1 right for 2A left.
So we are going to go Alpha Golf to cross, and then Golf Lima. Alpha Golf, Golf Lima to cross. Sounds good. All right, let's do a taxi check. So that's done. Trim is set 6.4 units. Prepare for takeoff. So they're prepared. Let's get the clock going up there. Takeoff config switch if installed. Everything looks good. All right. And just verify we are flaps 1. No, we're actually flaps 5. Good. I thought we were flaps 5, but I wanted to get out of Air Canada's way. We'll select flaps 5 for departure. Queen of the Sky, good to see you. Thank you for the 2 Aussie. Appreciate you. Music to my ears. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, the max startup is pretty amazing. I love hearing the max startup. There's Air Canada way down there. We're going to make our second left. Taxiing out of here, real world, a couple days ago, it took us like 40 minutes to get to the runway. It was a cluster. All the ones are closed, so 1 left and right is closed. And there's a bunch of construction going on down here, and we got heavies going all over the place. It was just an absolute madhouse. But I hadn't been to San Francisco in years. It's pretty nice, though. I feel like I need to dim some of those panel lights. Let's dim those. Let's dim it all down a little bit. Taxi on down to Gulf. We're doing 29 knots there, Chief. Might want to slow it up. Avoid SFO. Yeah, pretty much. What's up? What yoke are you using? I am using the Brunner yoke. Force feedback. Having a hard time staying on center line apparently too. I feel like I'm sliding in the max, like I don't know what's going on, man. Ever since we were sliding around at the gate, now we're sliding around while we're taxiing. Could be sus. Jesse Ordonez dropping the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Jesse. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate you. If you pick up a membership from Jesse, make sure you shout him out and say thank you. San Francisco traffic, Air Canada, or excuse me, Rouge 357 crossing runway 1 left and 1 right at Gulf. Taxi 2A left full length. We're Rouge. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate the gifted subs, my man. Yeah, there's a big construction thing going on right here on that side of the runway, right around the 1,000 footers. I need an overhead panel. All right, cross left and right. Oh, I turned them off too soon. That's all right. SFO's going to be a mess now. GDPs are going to be brutal. Yeah. Matthew, what's up? Thanks for the 21-month support. I was based in SFO just out of training. Love the views departing and arriving. Oh, jeez. As I taxi into the taxi stand there. Love the views departing and arriving. My wallet didn't love it, though. I can only imagine, my man. I can only imagine. The views in and out of SFO are probably some of the best. I'm not going to lie. Like, honestly, flying in and out of San Francisco, it's up there with, like, people ask, what are your favorite approaches or what are your favorite airports to fly into? I never say SFO, but honestly, I really should start saying SFO because on a clear day, it's pretty incredible. I don't know what we're going to be able to see today. We got some low clouds and stuff moving in here. But it's a sleeper of a beautiful place to fly out of. It's kind of interesting flying in to SFO. They stopped their parallel approaches, pretty much those side-by-side approaches. So we're following traffic on the parallel, and they're like, "Hey, just make sure you don't pass, don't catch up to the guy on your left or whatever," because they stacked us, but we were staggered. So, but the last time I had been to San Francisco, we were doing parallel approaches. You know, you're right next, you're racing someone on 2-8 left and 2-8 right, but they've had too many close calls, so they've stopped doing that. All right, as we taxi out, let's run the before takeoff above the line, please. Before takeoff checklist, takeoff data and bugs. So we got 284, 152. I'm flying. Flight director's on my side. Auto throttle is armed. We're going up to 10,000. Closeout received and checked. All right, flaps. 5. Green light. Stab trim. 6.3 units. Set. Takeoff brief is complete. It's going to be a tight right turn out of here. I may go into heading mode for some cinematic views. We shall see. I may go into heading mode for cinematic views. Takeoff brief complete. HUD. We're not using HUD today. Generators on. Air conditioning and bleeds. Auto. Set. To the line.
San Francisco traffic, Air Canada 567, continuing rolling departure on 211.
Looks like you finally got through security.
Yeah, FCOM might have been running the numbers as we were taxiing.
Rainbur Balsay 1709. What's up, man? Got my navigation written tomorrow? Ooh. Study hard, my man. Well, actually, it's too late to study. Hopefully you got it. Hopefully you got it down. Hope you enjoy the stream. Welcome on board, man. Mick Oatmeal is in the house. 12 months as a commercial pilot. The 1-year mark, man. Says you might have a career track joining you up in Canada. Ooh, Mick Oatmeal. Bring it on, my man. More career tracks, the better. We're still got to take that career track out of... looks like we're taking off with a tailwind. Still got to take a 700 career track out of Guayaquil. So another interesting fact about SFO right now, a little non-standard. So because the ones are closed, they're launching people off of 28 left and 28 right and landing at the same time. So they have in the ATIS, it says be ready for a runway change last minute. Brief. It actually said in the ATIS, brief both runways for departure, which is kind of neat. And we didn't get our runway assignment until right here. So Rouge 357, runway 28 left, line up and wait. All right, line up and wait, 28 left for the Rouge. That's on. We don't have autos, so we'll throw those into Cont. I know you guys love throwing those into Cont. Wing lights are coming on. Fasten seatbelts should be on. They've been chimed. Let's go. Below the line, MCPND checked. Runway 28 left. PA is complete. Lights are set before takeoff. Checklist is complete.
San Francisco track American 821 Heavy. Going to be taxiing to runway 28 left via Bravo. Turn right Golf, cross runway 1 left, 1 right at Golf, Lima, and then turn right Fox to 28 left. San Francisco traffic.
Good brief. San Francisco traffic, Rouge 357, departing runway 28 left, trucking, departure northbound, San Francisco traffic. Turks, no, it is not going to work well with our takeoff procedures. Listen to that nose wheel. Hear that nose wheel scrub? That onto the... Very good.
Climbing through 2,400 feet, departure to the north.
I'm gonna cheat forward here a little bit. That's very good. Boris Audio Works is very good, especially that captured ground roll. All right, who is ready? I don't see enough likes. I think we need to smash the like button, and while you're smashing the like button, hit the emoji button and get your yogas in chat. Let's go ahead and get out of here. We're doing a 29K bump, looking for 90. Why does it say TOB now? We're looking for, yeah, 29K bump. I don't know why it's showing 92. I thought it was higher than 92.6. That's fine by me. All right. Spool them up. 40%. Give Florida a chance. 40% takes a minute to spool. That's a very... actually, as much grief as I give the iFly, that spool up is very accurate. Yo, gosh.
Yep.
Oh, Mike muted. Oh my gosh, I was muted that whole takeoff.
2500.
I was wondering why. I was wondering what he said there. I was too busy looking out the windows. See how sharp that turn is? We still overshot it. That wasn't good. I can't believe it's hard IMC. That's unfortunate. I guess the weather radar doesn't work in this thing, huh?
Critical traffic, American C-21 heavy crossing runway 1 left vehicle, and then 1 right vehicle.
Whew, buddy. Well, so much for the beautiful views today. I'll tell you what, we sure got some beautiful clouds to look at, though. All right, let's do the up and after. So auto brakes off, gear lever can stay up. Set, cabin's climbing, anti-ice not required. Let's continue the climb. Buttons pushed. Let's go all the way up, 340. There's 10,000. AJ, skill issue. Wait, what? The weather radar, AJ? I don't think the weather radar is implemented, my man. There's 10,000. Yeah, it does hand fly so nice. This is how the Max feels. It's smoother. It's easier to make small adjustments. That's another way to put it. It's just easier to make smaller adjustments. Maybe we'll get on top of some of the, or well, there'll be some holes down here and we'll be able to still see some Bay Area.
Heavy clear of runway 1 right.
Golly. Look at that. The Air Canada livery, 10 for 10. I'm gonna turn the sound down a little bit. Air Canada Max livery, 10 out of 10. I don't like white typically, but the white and black with the eye mask is just... That's just it, man. That's aggressive. It's aggressive, but elegant. V1 loves the iFly. He just say it, y'all. I know. I love certain aspects about the iFly, but there's other aspects that drive me insane. Spin our heading bug around here. She does fly very good, though. Does the Max have some fly-by-wire built in? Yes, it does. It has some more isms. Fly-by-wire, not the right word. Hydraulic assistances would be a more accurate way of putting it, Reset Jet. Plus, I also don't know if, like, the fact that just, you know, any NG that you fly is going to be... When did the last NG roll off the production line? More than 5 years ago? So, the Max probably takes advantage of, even if they're the same systems, updated versions of those systems. Yeah, last NG came off the line around 2018. But there's more hydraulic, I guess you could say hydraulic boosting, maybe, would be a way to say it. All right, standard 18,000 feet. Transition is set. Get the lights off. Wing lights are coming off. Turn off lights are coming off. Taxi lights coming off. That's going to drive me nuts. Those are off. Logo lights. That's off. I have, if you guys have the Brunner, my max profile is 1:1. This is so nice. Flying Raccoon. It is indeed. Fly SMC. What's up, man? Thanks for the $2 super chat, man. It is Flying Raccoon. Look at that thing. I cannot believe I picked the day to fly out of SFO where we're not going to see anything. I even left it live time, live weather to have better, you know, sunlight views. He just spent 8 hours crammed in his 60s cockpit. He's not mentally thinking straight. Yeah, so actually I spent, let's see, 8 hours in the cockpit, and then I spent 3 hours in a crew room chair, and then I spent 4 hours on the jump seat, and then I spent 24 hours awake on top of all that, and then I got home. Yeah. And then I go back tomorrow if they call me, although they haven't called me yet, Turks. Fingers crossed. I hate commuting. I hate commuting so much I almost want to leave the industry. That's how bad commuting sucks. Don't. If you can help it, for the young aviators out there, do not commute. Now, when you're single, not a big deal at all, honestly. If you have a girlfriend, wife, a little bit more sad. But if you have a full-blown family and you're a commuter, it sucks, man. I don't know how. There are a handful of pilots that just, they love it, or they don't love it, but they choose to do it. It doesn't bother them. But for me, my goodness, it just adds so much non-good things, you know. But see how trimmed out it is? I literally flew the max when we were, so I flew the leg to SFO out of Miami. It was almost 7 hours. Well, actually, my butt was in the seat for almost 8 hours because we had a maintenance issue. But I think it was like we blocked 6 or something like that, takeoff, touchdown. But because I was going to be on autopilot for the whole day, I said, I'm just going to fly. I'm going to hand fly. And I flew it all the way up to 24,000 feet, and then I turned the autopilot on. And honestly, what you guys see me doing with the yoke, like I just take my hand off the yoke, make a little correction, put it in the command bar. That's how the Max flies. And the NG will do the same thing, but it's almost like you just got more slop, and it's a little bit harder to make those finer adjustments. So maybe it's because the yokes are tighter, if that's a non-technical term, on the Max. But you can really fly the Max with like just 2 fingers. If you keep her in trim, it is it's a beautiful hand-flying airplane. Jesse, thanks for the 14 months of support. Says, V1, how long have you had your Honeycomb Bravo? My goodness, Jesse, you can go back on the channel. I've had the Bravo for, oh, geez. I'll put it this way. I don't remember not having a Bravo. Whenever the Honeycomb, because I got the Bravo before the Alpha, right? It's been 6 or 7 years, man. I think I got it pretty much right when it came out. Right when it came out is when I got the Honeycomb Bravo. I had the Alpha. My Alpha, I enjoyed it for a little bit, but it quickly deteriorated on me, and then I did not like it. Mine, there were some instances of some guys saying their Alpha wasn't as stiff. My Alpha was extremely stiff in the pitch. Like the springs were way too tight, and you basically had to fly light airplanes with the trim wheel. You basically had to flare with the trim. So I wasn't a huge fan of the Alpha. I also had a problem with the cords in the back coming loose and the pins coming loose and having issues. We'll go full screen cam here. Let's go ahead and go Commande. Autopilot's on. We're full screen mode. We're looking good. Some sounds are coming down a little bit. Let's go ahead and increase this VNAV climb situation. 300, please. Actually, let's do 310 and smooth. 310 in the climb. Thank you. That is a beautiful shot right there. I don't know what I like better. That view or that view? That view. iFly is pretty good. EFB is a bit annoying. SimBrief is also annoying. Other than that, it's fairly... Scober, it's like... You're right. I agree with you. And I know I was just ranting on the iFly back there. But this is what I don't... There are certain airplanes that we have in the sim that are so close to just being amazing. Like, truly amazing airplanes. But then they do, like, 3 or 4 things that just blow your mind. Like, why? Like, the EFB on the iFly, I could kind of understand. Like, they wanted to get as close to the 737, the actual 737 Boeing EFB as they could, because they maybe thought that would be cool. Okay, someone made a decision to do something different. I applaud them for that. But the fact that they didn't give you an option to do like a normal EFB too, and just gross. The bugs that we still get and everything is just, it has to do from being ported. It's not a native airplane at all. It does weird FSX things. The fact you can't load from SimBrief drives me nuts. You know, like it's those little things like you're mentioning, but at the end of the day, when you get her airborne, you get the sounds, you listen to Boris Audio Works. It hand flies awesome. It's a love-hate relationship, man. It's a love-hate relationship. But, you know, as much grief as it gives us, I still love flying the Max. They make the NG for the P8. Oh, so don't count the P8, man. I share a crash pad with a P8 guy, and he's telling me it's so different, man. He's like, I got in, we were commuting a 787 jump seat together, and he's like, he flew the P8 for 10 years. And he's like, man, I got in the NG cockpit. And I was like, what is this? I guess the overhead is completely different. A bunch of other stuff is different than the P8, but same airframe. So, you know, hand flying it, it's probably very similar. But at least, and I don't know much about the P8, but at least the P8s that he was flying, they had a whole bunch of other stuff going on in there that we do not have in the NG. Pedro, those are default clouds. Default clouds. I'm trying to catch up to the chat here. Sorry, I know it's been a while, but I'm going back. Last time I was in St. Martin, saw Air Canada Max landing at Sunset. Beautiful. Yes, indeed. Canadian PT6. The Max is a beautiful airplane. Commuting with the family sucks. Thanks, Fly USMC. It definitely does, man. Derek says, at least got the light at the end of the tunnel. I know. The question, is it a train or is it end of the tunnel light? I don't know, man. I guess commuting might be better for long haul guys. It depends, man. I will never, my personal experience, I will never say commuting is going to be better than anything. Now, where commuting is not really like traditional commuting is if your company allows you to be based anyway. So, for example, if you fly there's a couple freight operators do heavy freight, and they say you can live anywhere you want, and they will fly you to the jet. So if you're living in Dallas, and they say, and you're home, it's called home basing, and they say, okay, you're on your next 14-day stretch of days on. We're going to fly you to meet the aircraft, and you're going to go fly around, fly cargo. That's not true commuting. That's just another style of pilot life, if you will. Commuting is where you are responsible for getting to the aircraft by yourself without any assistances from the company, and if you don't, you'll get fired or reprimanded. So, and it just it takes so much time away. This is why I say it's hard with a family. So for me, if I get 12 days off a month, if I'm commuting across the country for those 12 days, I may spend 8 or 7 of those days at my house. So think about that. 31-day month, I may be home 7 days a month. That ain't sustainable for me. So, especially if, I guess I'm one of the rare ones that I actually love my family. So I hate leaving. I hate leaving them because that commute, if I know, the weather's going to be bad or whatever, like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to wait and just give myself the last flight. I'm going to give myself some more options. So I may not have a showtime until 7 p.m. in the evening of the next day, but I'm going to start my commute, middle of the afternoon, the day prior, because I know the weather's going to be terrible the next day or flights are canceling or what have you, even same day. So if I have an 8 p.m. showtime, I still got to get up. I got to get on the 10 a.m. flight, or 12 noon flight, to get in with enough time and enough, fudge factor in there for delays or what have you. If I got to be at the airport at 10 for a departure, I got to be there at 9, an hour prior. I live an hour and a half away, so I got to leave my house at 7:30. So I got to get up at 6:30 in the morning to be in position to fly at 8 p.m. at night somewhere else in the country. And that doesn't go into your duty day. So imagine, you just added 12 hours to your day. You have some very long days as a commuter. It's not uncommon to be awake for, 20, 25 hours at a time, depending on how your commute lines up. So it's, it can get exhausting. It can get exhausting, that's for sure. Are there regulations when you have to turn on autopilot? Some operators may have SOPs that say don't turn it on above this altitude, or do turn it on. For us, we don't really have any. We have minimum autopilot engagement heights, so ironically, it's kind of unclear in the 7.3. It's like after the takeoff checklist is completed. So really, after the gear's up and the flaps are up is when you can technically turn it on, but then there's some situations where you would turn it on before the after takeoff checklist is complete because you still have flaps out, but the SID requires you to have the autopilot on. Like there's a couple RNAV departures that says autopilot must be engaged prior to whatever. So Airbus, you can pretty much turn the autopilot on after you get the gear in the well. That's how the 767 is. Don't know if the flapper on or the center air demand pump. You can fly the 7.7 with fingertips as well compared to the 7.5. Really reset jet. The 7.5 rotates 9 degrees max, where the 7.6 only goes to 60. That's cool, reset jet. So yeah, so I guess reset jet was saying, I'm still trying to catch up on the chat. Reset jet was saying is comparing how I'm comparing the max and the NG. So the 7.5, 7.6 very similar, but the 7.6 just felt like a fingertip airplane. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I would use that same analogy, reset jet, with the max. You could fly the max with fingertips, and the NG, you kind of really need to get at least one hand on the yoke. You know what I'm saying? The 7.3 flies like a Buick, and the max flies like a Cadillac. There you go. Is that IRL as well? Oh, that's in the sim. Yes, Grogmeist. Yes, I would agree with that. I don't think I've driven a Buick, but I would say it drives like a like if I were to drive just a clapped out box truck, you know those UPS delivery trucks, a milk truck if you're in the EU, or Zippy's probably knows what milk trucks are. I don't know. Do they still have milk trucks back there? I mean, we used to have milk trucks in the States, but you know where the steering wheel is just kind of loose, and you gotta make some larger corrections, and then you overcorrect, and then it's kind of heavy at times. That's how the NG flies. You can be very precise with the NG. It takes more out of you. Whereas the Max, yeah, you can just hold it easy. When I had to commute, it broke my heart every time I hugged my boys. Fly USMC, I know, man. That's where I'm at, dude. For as long as I've lived, the airline business has been one of the hardest jobs, mainly due to corporate mergers and strikes. It's so hard on the family and prayers with you. Thank you, Fly SMC. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's, you know, I got into the airline industry knowing that. That is why my master plan was to, you know, get to an airline, build seniority. That way, by the time I have a family and kids, I'll be able to have more control of my schedule. Well, plan A was fine. You know, 10 years, plenty of seniority, plenty of control of my schedule. But then when you're forced to reset in the middle of it, not what I was planning. So now, yeah, it's very challenging. My girls hate it when I leave. Like, it broke my heart the last trip I left. My oldest, she's like, I was telling her I gotta leave, and she knows now like a 3-day trip will easily turn into a 4 days me being gone. And so she's like, well, how long you have to be gone? I'm like, 3 days. She's like, great. 3 day means 4 day. And she's like, why can't you just fly yellow airplane? And I just like, oh my gosh. It just pulls at your heartstrings, man. But hopefully there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not a freight train like Turk said. Fly SMC, thanks for the $2 super chats. I'm dreaming of that Bluebird 757. I know, man. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I don't know what day it was. When we were in Newark, and golly, the sim is on fire right now. It just looks, I don't even want to go to outside view. This just looks amazing. We're in Newark. We're sitting in line for takeoff. Another, 55-minute taxi out of Newark, New Jersey at rush hour. We were sitting right abeam 27, so I had a 757 on my left with winglets, and then on the right was a 757 coming out of the freight ramp, 757 FedEx straight wing. Oh my gosh, dude, I get the winglets look cool, but there is the 757 with straight wing that just is so cool looking. I think it's partially because back in, you know, as a kid, most of the airplanes didn't have winglets back then. So I have an affection for straight wing jets, and L1011, 757 no winglet, and it looks good on that FedEx cargo freighter. Just chef's kiss. Backlash is the technical term for slop in the yoke. Yes, it's also the technical term for the Brunner force feedback software. You can have backlash. You can do that. Drive to work, full stop, end of story, no question. Don't be stupid. If you can drive to work, drive to work. Yes, lifelong commuter takes years off your life. It does. Yeah, commuting will take years off your lives. I actually, it's funny. So, family friend that he actually used to fly. He retired off the 7.5 at American, but he flew for AirAF. He flew like A300s for Air, or no. He flew something wide, but he flew a wide body for AirAF Freak. He flew, he was an A-10 test pilot for Fairchild. He flew for Pan Am briefly, and then he got on with America West, straight America West, and then the US Air merger, and then American, and then retired off the 7.5. But he's long retired now. He's out of it. And my mom called him. I was on the phone, and they were on speakerphone outside, and I was up on the deck on top, and she calls, and he's asked about me, and my mom had told her, yeah, he's commuting right now, and the first thing out of his mouth was, commuting will literally kill him. And this is coming from a dude that's, I don't know, I think he's into is he into his 80s now? I think he's into his 80s, maybe not quite 80, but he's in his high 70s. And I just thought it was funny. The first thing he said was like, commuting will literally kill him. She yearns for the banana bus. I know, Osco Stick. I know it, man. Thoughts on what's going on with JetBlue? Hey, they're just going to be the next one to file bankruptcy, probably. Chapter 11, they're not going anywhere. I think JetBlue will have a Chapter 11 situation similar to Spirit. I mean, they're like $9 billion in debt. But I do think there's going to be some consolidation still. Let's see what our optimum is here real quick. I think there's, let's see, up to 389 where we can go 34, 36. Let's go to 38. Should we go to 38? Let's go to 380. What are the winds doing? We got 75 knots on the tail. Let's go 380. 380 once. 380 twice. 380 three times because we hit altitude intervene. So up we go. I do think JetBlue will probably get merged with somebody. I don't know who. I don't know if it's going to be United. United seems like too easy of a target. It might be sneaky. There could be a three-way merger in there. There could be a, you know, a Breeze merger. I don't know. I do think there's going to be some consolidation in the airline industry. I don't know with who or what it's going to look like, but I firmly believe there's still going to be some consolidation in that kind of that either the low-cost carrier or that middle class, like where JetBlue is sitting, where Breeze is sitting, a Velo even maybe. Delta Tango, thank you for the 36 months of support. Good to see you, man. Delta Tango, it's been a while. Been away from the sim a while due to career change. Ooh, Delta Tango, a career change. Well, I hope, how has it been so far, my friend? Glad to have you back. Hopefully you get into the sim a little bit. While I haven't had a career change, I've had a career lateral change, switching operators. But hope all is well, man. Hope the new career is doing well. We were just talking. I dislike commuting so much, I've actually contemplated career changes. That's how much I dislike it. You're going to take a look at the 220. I think it's coming pretty soon. Yes, of course, we'll take a look at it, A-Wind. Am I excited about the 220? Yeah. A lot of screens in the 220. I am curious to see what it's, you know, someone like Full Flap Sim, who flies the 220, I'm curious to see what his interpretation will be, because I don't know about the 220. I've never flown it. Oh, we're actually losing our tailwind up here. That's not good. That's why they had us so low. We're losing our wind. Trump said he wants Spirit to merge with someone. Yes, I did see that. I still think Spirit's going to merge with someone. I still think they are. People say they're going to liquidate. I don't... Liquidation is an option. It's always an option. I still think it's a small percentage. I think someone will buy them. I don't know who. Could it be Frontier? Maybe. Still. Do they even care anymore? I don't know. Do you know what would be an interesting one? Would be like a Sun Country, Allegiant, Spirit three-way. Because Allegiant and Allegiant and Sun Country are merging. Man, we lost. Did we lose 20 knots of ground speed? What was our ground speed before we climbed up here? Anybody know? I know we had 74 knot tailwind. We might go back down. Did that just take some time off of our approach or our flight? Will we see you in St. Paul this year? Delta Tango, I don't know my schedule until about the 15th or so of the month prior. So it's in June. I won't know until another couple of weeks. I got to make sure this isn't an ECS phone call. Please don't be an ECS phone. No, it's not an ECS call yet. So far, so good, Turks. We're looking good. So if I'm going to try to bid for the day off, or the day off, I'm going to try to bid for the time off for Expo, but I just don't know. Like I said, I don't want to make any commitments or any promises because I really just don't know if I'll be able to get those days off. Shaq Oatmeal is in the house, my man. Oh, Shaq, I should have done the Phoenix stream into DC to see if we could find that deal fix behavior. Good to see you, Shaq. Hope all is well, my man. I just hope they get the sounds right. Best thing about 220 is the sounds as Pratt's and it being the cannabis. I know, Prodigist. I think they will. Honestly, do we know who's doing the sounds for the 220? Is it going to be Echo 19? I'll say this about Echo 19. The L1011 was fantastic. The Echo 19 sound pack on the 737NG is fantastic. I feel like the quality of the Echo 19 sounds have gone up exponentially in the last, 2 or 3 releases. So if Echo 19 is doing the sounds of the 220, I feel like the 220 is a very not easy. It's an airplane that you can get on and fly and get recordings, and there's a lot of content for the 220 because it's still relatively new. Look at those mountains peeking through back there. That's beautiful. I do think so. I think it's going to be good. I think the sounds going to be good. Are you bottom of seniority when you change careers? Yes. You start all the way at the bottom. All over. And that's not just, people think, oh, well, maybe you just start over financially. No, there's a whole lot more than the finance part of it. So, yes, I took a 300% pay cut. But, well, I guess that's not true. I took a 70% pay cut, pretty much. But it's not just finances. It's so think of your contributions to your 401k, which I guess is still technically finances, but it's not the money that you just, get paid by the hour. So all your benefits, right? So your retirement contributions, your sick time is reset. So at my current operator, you don't even accrue sick time until year 2, which I think is asinine. They give you 20 hours. So if you're sick, that's why I flew sick and almost blew out my eardrums like last month because I didn't want to burn. I called out sick for 1 day, and I was well enough, I thought, to go back because I didn't want to burn any more sick time because I'm not going to accrue it for the rest of the year. I'm trying to save it for like life or death sick time emergency. So I went to work still with a cold, and my goodness, I thought I was going to blow out my ears again. That was not advisable. Don't do that. And if you have to do it, make sure you have Afrin or some steroid to clear your ears out. So sick time resets your vacation, right? Vacation time goes down, your accrual. So I was accruing 4 weeks of vacation a year. That goes down to I have 0 vacation now. You don't accrue vacation until year 2. All of that stuff, right? The benefit side of it. and insurance, right? Insurance at my last operator, awesome insurance. Best insurance I ever had. This one is okay, but it's also a higher cost. So you take a pay cut, then you have a higher cost of insurance. That's tough. And then for me, what the hardest part is, like we were just talking about, is your quality of life. So you take all the retirement, the benefits, the pay, all that stuff is affected and started at 0, right? Or started at year 1, brand new. But then the hardest part, in my opinion, at least the way I was set up, the hardest part for me is the quality of life change, right? So the birthdays that you won't get off, the holidays that you won't be off, the dance recitals, the soccer games, whatever the days that you need, because all that stuff typically happens on what? A weekend. When does everybody want to have off? The weekend. So you have to be relatively senior to get your weekends off. That all goes away. All that stuff, it's huge. Not being based where you live, right? So commuting. Like we talked about. I've gone from, being... I spent in the last 3 years... Miss V1's in the house. Good to see you. So, Miss V1, in the last 3 years, how many nights in a hotel did I spend? Probably like 4, probably on one hand. I took Miss V1 to LA on an overnight one time. I had to go to training, and then... like there might have been 1 or 2 other trips that I wanted to go on an overnight. Everything else was, I had such control of my schedule, I just did turns. So you go from being home almost every day of the month to being home 7 to 8 days a month. It's kind of a shock on the system, especially for young kids. So, but Miss V1 is an absolute rock. I could not do what I do. I would not have the family that I have if it wasn't for Miss V1. She is the key to any and all of the successes that I've had professionally. It's because she's been there backing me the whole way. So that's another tip. If you're going into this career as a young man or woman, and you don't have anybody yet, just your partner that you end up with, they're going to have to be the right kind of partner, because it is not easy for them at home. It is not easy. Help us, we're poor. Ay. Flew on Air Afric A310 a few times as a kid. Haven't heard that name in quite a while. Momar, you know what, Momar? You're the only other person that I said that Air even related to the Air Afrique story. But yeah, a family friend. I'm pretty sure he flew the A310 for Air Afrique. So yeah, pretty wild. Cold hack to clear your ears. No strips. Get CVS unclogs the ears, and it's the best. Ooh. Out of the 2 colors, which do you like more, blue or red? Me? Blue.
Is that the career track?
The career track. I think you should start gambling on the stock market. It's a sure bet. What's up, Bombtech? Good to see you, my man. Bombtech. So, I updated my Lear 35. We're going to have, look at these cloud layers. What does it look like outside? I mean, that looks cool too, but this is like real. I feel like I'm actually cruising in the max cabin right now. We're going to have a Lear 35 stream very soon. And we're going to go all in, dude. Everybody who wants to wear a tinfoil hat, all tinfoil hats are welcome. We got a lot of conspiracies to talk about that we need to do here coming up. There's been a lot of chatter lately. What route did I take to become a pilot? Charlie Jones, I was civilian the whole way. So I started so I did all my ratings. I did one rating at a 141 school. Then I ran out of money, and then I decided to pay for it much cheaper, more efficient way by going to Part 61 school. So I did all my ratings through Part 61 other than my private. And then I was an instructor building time. And then while I was building time, I started flying some right seat jet citation stuff. And then that progressed more to the point where I was like, okay, well, I need more PIC time to have insurance. So then I flew freight. switched over to flying freight. I flew freight. Then I flew some odd contract stuff in between that while flying freight. And then I got on, that was a 135 operator. And then I went to the regionals and I flew there. I also did a few contract things on a 190 Embraer. And then I went to a major carrier from there. And that's where I've been. Oh, well, and then I was at that major carrier for 10 years, and then I started over. Miss V1 must be a saint. I'm lucky to have a saint, too. Yeah, she is. She definitely is, Fly USMC. She absolutely is. Does Miss V1 make good chocolate chip cookies? The best, Captain Minnesota. Then there she is. Actually, speaking of, are we going to do chocolate chip cookies tonight? I feel like we should bake something. We should do some namis, as the kids call them. Maybe lemon. You know what else she makes really good is lemon poppy seed cake. Like the best lemon poppy seed cake I've ever had in my life. How long until you could be based where you want? Captain Oatmeal. Well, if I was on the bus, I'd be right there right now. I don't know. Allegedly, according to Turks, he says the light at the end of the tunnel is December. But I haven't, no one has confirmed if that light that I'm looking at, Shaq, is in fact the end of the tunnel or if it's a freight train coming ready to just run me right over. It could easily be either one, especially if someone drops a nuke here soon. So I see a light. I have not been able to confirm what the light is, Shaq. So it's going to be over a year for me. Blame Turks, indeed. Now, here's what's crazy. If I was on the bus, I would actually be holding a line in my current base if I was on the Airbus in Miami. The movement, it's all about movement, right? So it's all timing. It's all timing in this industry. People say it's, you got to do this or that. And honestly, it just comes down to timing. Like if you time it right, you could have the best career ever. If you time it wrong, you could have the worst career ever. Like it's literally up to the timing of it all. And here's the thing. Nobody can control the timing. That's why I always say, guys are like, should I start my career now, or is it too late to start, or is it too, should I do this, or am I too old for that? And what I always tell guys is like, just get your stuff done as quickly and efficiently as you can, because no one can control the timing. So just get done what you need to get done so you can get a seniority number where you want to be, and then you're just going to have to see from there. There's nothing else you can do than just keep your head down, grind it out. Shaq Oatmeal, huge grinder, man. Captain Shaq Oatmeal, he was streaming, working. You were working the ramp, right? And he's gone from just being streaming, I'm not saying, but from streaming to working the ramp to saying he really wanted to do this, dedicating his life. He's finished his ratings. He's now an instructor, and he's fast on his way to flying in the 121 world if he wants to. So, and there's other guys on the channel. Sam F, you'll see him through the chat. We work for the same operator now. I met him on Discord through the channel when he was still working on his. I think he was still working on his CFI. So long time ago. I got the pleasure of flying Sam. He rode on the jump seat with me when I was still flying the big yellow bus. I flew him up to Minneapolis. But there's a lot of guys. There's I know Bill's Mafia is in the chat. He's working on his stuff right now. He says, no, it's a certified death certificate. Eating poppy seed strudel right now. Weird timing. Hey, Flight Sim School. Weird timing indeed. I know. Cookies and cinnamon rolls. So V1 meetup at the V1. Everyone brings food. I like it, Zippy. I like it. Good idea. Speaking of cinnamon rolls, Miss V1 also makes the best cinnamon rolls. We do them once or twice a year for Christmas, typically. Best cinnamon rolls you ever had in your life. And I am a cinnamon roll connoisseur. I've had a lot of cinnamon rolls in my life. I remember one time I was on a trip at Myrtle Beach. Is it Myrtle, Shack? Where there's a Cinnabon. I think your girlfriend or something was working there, right, Shaq? I don't know if I was at Myrtle or Charleston. Anyway, I had this 4-day trip, and our gates was right next to a Cinnabon. And it was the 4-day trip was you flew one leg into Myrtle Beach, and then on day one I did Myrtle Beach, flew to Myrtle Beach, and then I did a quick turn, I think to like Orlando and back to Myrtle overnight. The next day, go up to LaGuardia, back to Myrtle overnight. The next day, LaGuardia, back to Myrtle, and the next day one leg home, whatever it was. Basically 3 days in a row of walking past the Cinnabon at Myrtle Beach. And the first day I walked by, it smelled so good. I'm like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till the next day. I'm not going to get it right now. It's too much. So then next day comes by. The Cinnabon is right there. That smell of Cinnabon just wafting through the terminal is amazing. You can't help but just like really want to go over there and take a peek. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to get one today. I'm going to wait until the last day, and I'm going to get the full cinnamon roll. I'm not going to, because they have like the little center cuts. I was thinking about getting a mini cinnamon roll. It's like, no, I'm going to wait till day 4, go home leg, and then I'm going to just get one of those big cinnamon rolls. I'm going to eat it on my way home because it's going to be my treat for finishing the 4-day trip. Well, go home leg. I believe we actually left, like middle of the day. We did a turn. I walked by it, come back. I'm coming up the jet bridge. I'm like, all right, I'm getting a Cinnabon. Let's go home leg. It's closed. I was so disappointed. I couldn't believe it. For 4 days, I walked by that Cinnabon, restraining myself. And on day 4, go home leg, I'm going up the jet bridge. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. I'm running up there. I'm like, I'm going to go get this cinnamon roll. I'm like, and I even told the FO, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to go get a Cinnabon. You want one? It's like, it's going to be, he's like, no, but it's going to smell so freaking good. It's like, so I was going to get him one anyway. Run up there, closed. I was so disappointed. The MSP donuts were epic too. Yeah, I used to fly the MSP. I used to do, so when I was Atlanta based, I would go get Angel Food donuts in MSP. And I would try to get those Minneapolis turns on the weekends, and I would go almost every weekend. I'd fly up to Minneapolis. I'd get a box of Angel Food donuts. AJ Vodka used to make fun of me. So it started out with I just got one donut for myself. And then I was like, well, I should bring one for the kids. So then I got 2. And then I ended up getting a box of like 6 donuts every time I went to MSP to bring them back down for the family, because they had some really good donuts. So for anybody going to MSP this year for the expo, you need to go to Angel Food Donuts. There's one in the terminal. Depends on who you come in on. If you come in on anybody other than Delta, which everyone's probably going to come in on Delta, the American, the Spirit, Sun Country, they all share, I think, that same concourse. No, Sun Country doesn't. They're actually on the other terminal now. But pretty much all the other airlines, United, there is a donut. There is an Angel Food donut there. But there's also vodka. Where is the one? Do we know how far the actual Angel Food is from where the convention is? Because isn't there? AJ always goes to the big store. AJ's been sending pics of the big Angel Food donut store. Where's that? It's far? Okay. Opposite side of town? Well, if you're bored, I would still do it. And if I am going to MSP, I'm going to go there. That was a sign from the cardiologist. Commuting leads to weight gain. Can you be an Ozempic and maintain flight status? That I don't know. I've actually lost a lot of weight. I'm on my Boeing diet, man. I dedicated that. I said once I got up to 7.3, I started it when I was in training. So my first, let me reset my camera here. My first sim, I was, well, actually, it wasn't even a sim. It was an FTD. We were supposed to use the FTD trainers. So this is way early on in training. But the instructor was able to get an open simulator that we could use off motion. So instead of sitting at the little cockpit trainer, procedure trainer, desk type thing, we actually got to go into the sim for our first lesson, which was incredible. It's really helpful when you can actually go sit in the cockpit and get your procedures down. So I go in there, And I mean, I'd been in 737 cockpits before, but I mean, it just reminded me that I've been flying the Airbus for 10 years and I'd gotten very comfortable. So after that day, I committed. I was like, okay, I'm going on a 7-3 diet, and I've actually lost like 20 pounds, and I've kept it off. I try not to eat a whole lot of carbs and sweets and stuff, but the carrot cake, Turks, dude, the carrot cake that we've had on the crew meals the last couple weeks, months, dude, the carrot cake is like the only dessert I eat. I love the carrot cake. I actually ate 2 of them on my last trip. It's not good. But the 7-3 diet, yeah, I call it my 7-3-7 diet. I try to fast. I'd been doing intermittent fasting, before, but I got real serious about it. So I'll when I'm on the road, when I am on trips, I pretty much OMAD, or I'm a 1 meal a day. So I'll fast all through the morning, typically black coffee only, and then if I have a crew meal, if it's a lunch or dinner, I'll eat it. I don't eat the breakfast ones. And then that'll pretty much hold me over. And if I do eat, I eat in about a 6-hour window. So on the road, I am strictly 1 meal a day. I try to get workouts in. If I don't have time to go to the gym, or I don't bring my shoes or something, because it's just commuting with like an extra stuff for gym bag and all that stuff. It's sometimes it's just too much. So I'll just do like body weight calisthenics workouts every single day that I'm on a trip. I'm very I don't say religious, but like I've been pretty good about making sure I do it every single day on the road. And then I try to do the same while I'm at home. But here's the thing. As a commuter, I'm never home. So actually when I'm home 8 days a month, I can, I'll do a little workout if I, feel like it. But since I'm always working out when I'm on the road, because I've made a commitment to that, it's been working out. So that's my 7-3-7 diet plan. Fasting, 1 meal a day, and I've cut back on the lattes a lot too. I only do cafe con leches when I'm in South Florida. I've cut back on pretty much everything else. Although I did have a vanilla cappuccino out of Newark because I was tired as hell and it was going to be a really long night. But I used that to break my fast. I pretty much had fasted 20 hours at that point. Working out the room service. Oh, so just so you guys know that I am human. Because you're like, oh, you have, you don't cheat, whatever. I'm gonna tell you what I told Turk Herein in the chat. So when we did Guayaquil, flew down to Guayaquil. You guys, we did it in the 700 not long ago. I broke down, guys. So I've been pretty good with my diet. 1 meal a day, like I said, trying to avoid sweets. And it's been good. Except Guayaquil. I went down, the captain and I were going to go to a Japanese place. It was closed. So really the only food option was the room service or another little restaurant down there on property, which honestly is probably the same kitchen as room service. So he said he was going to stay in. I was like, all right, I'll just get room service too. So I ordered a dinner. I don't know, it was fine, whatever it was good. But I also ordered a little dessert with it. I ordered a creme brulee. Guys, I have had multiple creme brulees before. This was the best creme brulee I've ever had in my life. So, and because I'm doing the 1 meal a day thing, I ate early. I was like, well, I'm going to eat around 4, 5, and then I'm going to just go to bed because we had like a 4 a.m. showtime or something the next day. So I'm going to eat 1 meal. I'll have my dessert with it. That's it. So this creme brulee, though, guys, was on another level. So I eat it. I'm like, that's so good. Now I'm watching some. I think the Masters was on. I was watching the end of the Masters and a couple other things were on. And I started thinking, I'm getting kind of hungry again. And I was like, man, I really could go for another one of those creme brulees. I'm like, don't do it. I don't need to do it. I'm not ordering creme brulee. Well, I was talking to Miss V1 actually on the phone, and I was telling her about it. And she's like, don't you order another one? I'm like, I'm not going to. I can't. So 7 o'clock rolls around, and I'm losing it. I'm like, I need to get another creme brulee. But I didn't want to order. I didn't just want to like call room service and order a creme brulee room service. I can't do that, right? That's embarrassing. What if it's the same chick that brought up the food the first time, and now she's bringing up just a creme brulee? Like, no, I can't do that. So I was like, well, I got to order something else to make it worth it. Because, if it's like $6, I'm like, I'm not going to order a $6 creme brulee. I'm pretty sure the room service delivery fee is like $3. So it's like, well, I got the bright idea, but what if I order 2 desserts? That way it seems like I'm ordering for 2 people, and it's not just me getting multiple desserts, and I just won't eat the other one. So they had this tres leches cake. I was like, I'll try that. Because it was like, prices were good. It was like, I think it was like $6 for a tres leches. Like, all right, I'll order a tres leches and a creme brulee, but I'm just going to eat the creme brulee. That way it doesn't look, I don't have to be embarrassed. It's like, just getting multiple desserts. Well, no, first problem was apparently everyone decided to order food around 7 o'clock because it took way too long. I mean, it was almost 8 p.m. I'm like, man, I'm ready to fall asleep. I do not need to be eating dessert at 8 p.m. Well, right around 8 o'clock, knock, knock, room service. And it's the same lady that brought up the meal earlier. I'm like, oh, gosh, like the trays are already out there. I'm like, well, it's kind of embarrassing. Oh, well, whatever. I don't care. So she brings in the desserts. I pay for them. I'm pretty sure the delivery fee was like as much as the desserts. But I open up the tres leches pot. You know how when they bring in room service, they have that like the big metal cover on it, so you can't see it. It's like Christmas for adults. So I lift up the lid for the tres leches. And oh my gosh, it looks amazing. And I like tres leches. It's not my favorite, but I ordered it because it was a cheap thing on the menu, and it seemed like, I'd be ordering for 2 people and I wouldn't be judged. And I was like, well, I'm going to take a bite of that. So I took a bite of the tres leches. And it was really, really freaking good. I guess they have like their own, there's something special about the cacao beans or something in Ecuador. I don't know if it's like their local bean or whatever. There was some advertisements about how their little cacao nibs or nips, whatever it was. So I ate a bite of the tres leches. Then I ate another bite of the tres leches. And I'm like, okay, I can't eat tres leches. I want the creme brulee. So I open up the creme brulee. Still just as amazing as before. It has a little fruit on the side with it. Oh my gosh, I took a couple bites of that. Guys, I am not proud to admit it, but I ended up eating both desserts. So I literally ordered 2 desserts because I didn't want to just order 1 dessert. I ate the entire tres leches, and then I ate the creme brulee at like 8:30 at night. And then I went to bed, and I felt like crap the next morning. But note to self, if you're craving that late night dessert snack, don't order 2 of them because you're going to end up eating both of them. Ordering just a creme brulee through room service, tell me you were an Airbus captain without telling me you were an Airbus captain. Swarm 3513, that is the most true statement in the chat today, man. That is the most true statement. I definitely felt like an Airbus captain, man. That is the most Airbus captain thing I could ever do, is room service a creme brulee. Yeah, there's your podcast for the next 6 months, all right? They haven't done one in a while, but there's my confession. It's my hotel confessions. Instead of the cockpit confessional that we used to have on the podcast, we have the hotel confessional. There you go. Don't be going around telling anybody that I ordered 2 desserts at room service now. He made it up for taking a tofu crew meal the next day. Actually, to be fair, Turks, I fasted for 24 hours after that. I didn't eat because that was the day. Oh, and Turks, I don't know if you're here for the stream. That was the day, if you guys remember, I ran 2.5 miles full uniform to get onto my commute because I had to go through customs, and the way we parked at the gate had to go all the way back. So literally, I ate 2 desserts. Well, really 3 because I had 1 early. Then I ordered 2. So I had 3 desserts, fell asleep, fasted, flew for 5 hours back to Miami, completely sedentary. As soon as I get on the ground in Miami, dead sprint for 2 miles, 1 mile to customs, then 1 mile from customs all the way back to where I had just parked the airplane to get on the Dallas flight. Barely made it. And so I got a little bit of a workout in after that. I burned them off. But, yeah, I didn't fast until all the way into the evening, and then I had just some protein. But, yeah, I did defer the breakfast. I didn't do the breakfast. I didn't do any of the other stuff. But yeah, that was funny, Swarm. Definitely an Airbus Captain thing to do. All right, we're only 130 miles from TD. I should probably look up what we're supposed to do since I don't think I've ever flown to Vancouver before. So let's go terminal charts, show menu. No, I'm just going to use, how do I just get to my own charts here? Terminal charts. How do I get back to the site? I'm going to go back. Here we go. CYVR. And then we're on the, what is the arrival today? Grizz 9. So edit clip. Vancouver, Grizz 9. And then we're on the ILS. Let's see. ILS 26 left to Zulu. ILS 26 left. Oh, Stanley. Is that for the Stanley Cup? Who won the Stanley Cup last year? Do you guys remember? Where was... Oh, no. Not the Stanley Cup. Who won the World Champion Olympic gold? Do you guys remember? Was it Canada? It was Canada and U.S. playing. Who won the gold? All right. ILS Zulu 26 left is what we want. USA, USA. Yeah, I definitely didn't forget. I'm just trolling my fellow Canadians. I mean, they love hockey so much. They even got arrivals named after it. We still won. USA. I don't even follow hockey. I know Turk's a big hockey fan. All right, here's the Grizz. We're coming down off of Payne Field. Egret. Ooh, non-jet. So we're jet 12 and 11 at 280 knots. Bottoms out at 6,000 feet at NOTOC. Hey, that's like a NOTOC on board. Notice of something hazmat, right? Back to the airport. ILS page. Rubes, thank you for the 35 Azar. Appreciate you, man. Captain, how were you? First couple landings in the 738. Rubes, I don't want to jinx myself. I have had I've had one not good landing, and I had one landing in Newark 2 days ago that was mid. It didn't feel very smooth, but it wasn't super hard. But I haven't had any real smashers yet, Rubes. Thank you for jinxing me. So now next time I go fly, I'm probably going to drive the struts to the freaking fuel tanks. But I've heard there's really like two ways of going about landing on this, your landing experience on the 7.3. You're either going to fly for, 100 hours or so and think, oh, I can't even get a bad landing in this airplane. And then one day you're going to be just flying along on approach and absolutely drive it home. And the other method is you're going to kind of struggle. You might get one or two good ones and then struggle and then kind of get the sight picture down. I think I am the first in that category. I think, I'm coming up on 200 hours on the airplane. I've had two that stood out. One was on OE. It was in like a 30-knot crosswind in Chicago, blowing rain. And it was in OE, so give me a break. And then my worst one I've had so far was in Newark 2 days ago, and it still wasn't that bad. It wasn't as hard as the Captains on the going into Chicago. Going into Chicago from SFO, little planty of the mains there. But I'm not judging because I know my time is coming, so thank you for jinxing me. All right, so we're set up. I'm going to look at the arrival here. 110... 263 on the courses here. Let's get these dialed in. 263. Our minimums 110.7, and we're going to dial that in to do that before we forget. 110.7. All right, 110.7 is set across the board. We've got 263 course lines. Barrowman for 26 left. ILS DME. Hiles out of service or straight up 207. Let's go straight up 207. Actually, we're in Microsoft. Let's use the 257 mins. Why not? Let's use 257 mins. For no reason other than... oh no. Going the wrong way. I don't think Microsoft simulates Hiles. Not that we need them. All right, 5257 on the Barrow. $257. We don't have a HUD installed, do we? No HUD installed. All right, 263, 257 on the Barrow. Let me get a current METAR from Vancouver. Current weather. Digital aid is not provided. Right now, CYVR 200 at 6.3. Oh, 30 statute miles. How do they know it's 30 and not 29 and a half? Overcast 12,000. Scattered at 10,000. 2976 on the preset. 2976 preset. Ref and a Barrow. And then for landing on runway 26 left. How does this look? Let's plan to exit Echo so we can minimize taxiing. So I did, can we make Echo? Yeah, surely, right? Because it's a 12,000 foot runway. Let's plan Auto 2. Wrong button. Let's plan Auto 2. Set. And coming down the star, what did I say the bottom was? Grizz is going to be 210 at 6,000 feet. We'll set 6 right now. Rouge 357, when ready, descend pilot's discretion, or via the Grizz 26 left. All right, 6,000 set. And we'll do a 30, 145. Now, do you guys want to land flaps 30, or do we want to land like I love landing the max flaps 40? We're going to land like I love landing the max, so you guys don't have a choice on this one. Flaps 40. Plus, I want to see if it feels the same. 151.6. What is our landing weight? We're getting close. They don't post it over here like we do. I think it's like 152 or something. We're close enough. Feasible. We ain't landing flaps 15. No, sir. Let's get some outside views here for a minute before we start down. So, chase plane. Is it time, chat? Is it time for chase plane? Am I rated on the max? Yep. I've been flying the max a lot, man. I flew the max almost all last trip. I only flew one leg in an NG. So one thing I did see, Captain Canada was flying an epic bare metal American 777, and I didn't see much of it because I was getting ready at the hotel to go to the airport, but I saw him in cruise, and the way chase plane pans the cameras, you have multiple camera angles at cruise, super juice. So does anybody here have concrete evidence or objections to chase plane and making my sim unstable? Because if I get chase plane and we have a sim crash, I will never use chase plane again. So I got to make sure everyone's having a pretty stable experience with it now. It has camera API and sim update 5, so no more hacks. Really, Sandman? So do you think I should wait to sim update 5, or should I just jump in now and get used to it? Alright. Even Shaq says, alright. Even Shaq says get shake plane. Shake plane? Shake weight? Anybody remember the shake weight commercials? I know vodka does. AJ's probably got 3 of them. Turk says don't listen. Sim Update 5 will break it. Well, that's what I'm thinking. If it's going to be native in Sim Update 5, I feel like that's going to cause problems. AJ still uses his shake weights. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to wait for Sim Update 5 because Sim Update 5 is close, right? Reset Jet, you brought one? Got obliterated at work for it? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, my goodness. I think I'm going to wait for Sim Update 5. I think I'm going to wait for Sim Update 5. Okay, if it works with Sim Update 5 beta now, okay, so I'm going to wait. All right. That's the plan. I'll make that promise to you. I'm going to wait for Sim Update 5. Once I have Sim Update 5, we'll do one. How about we do 2 streams in Sim Update 5? If all goes as well, I'll get Chase Plane after that. So that's the plan. Because I do want to, I think it's at a point now where it's kind of got its kinks ironed out, but I do want to wait for Sim Update 5. That'll be the next big drop. And, you know, whenever there's a bunch of changes in the sim, I don't want to change multiple things at the same time. So we'll wait. Oh, where's Digital Merc? This is one of his mountains out here. Merc, what mountain is that? Shasta, Rainier, Vernon. It's one of the tall ones. Mick Oatmeal with a $5 super chat. When are we going to rescue Barry? Soon, TM. I'll tell you what, Mick Oatmeal, here's the plan. If I don't have to commute to work tomorrow, maybe we'll do a Barry tomorrow. But if I have to commute to work tomorrow, we're not doing it. Thank you, man. Appreciate the $5 super chat. They recently released an update makes it compatible with the beta. Okay, good. So that means they're working on it, or at least they're working with Sim Update 5. So that makes me feel better about getting it for Sim Update 5. I like the plan. I like the plan. I've been single for years. Don't need shake wages. What do you like more about the Max than the NG? I like the way the airplane hand flies. I like the sounds, and I like the situational awareness of the display screens. When you are taking a Max into severe terrain at night in the weather, being able to have a full screen VSD. I know you can do the VSD on the NGs. Some of our NGs has the VSD. Some of them, the block ones, don't. But when you're flying in the mountains at night with weather, one of the best things that you can do situationally for me is you pop up this VSD. I can run weather radar on the main map screen here, so I can still see if I need to deviate or whatever, and real-time terrain below. So if we were flying in high terrain right now, you would see the terrain outline on the ground here. So having a full screen like this allows me to just decipher the data so much faster and cleaner than even on the NG. Because on the NG, if it is equipped with the VSD, you only have like a quarter of the screen, maybe a third of the screen size. So everything gets compacted, and it's almost like it's the same amount of data as it is in the Max, but when it's compacted into that small screen, it almost looks like there's too much information on that screen to decipher it cleanly, because it's just, and you can't really, it's like, can I really tell? I need to zoom in. I end up having to zoom in way further because the screen is so small. Then it's almost like pointless because I might as well just have weather up on the full screen. So I don't know. It's just, you can do both completely fine, and both are completely safe. It's just straight up luxury bells and whistles, and I like that about the Max. That's a big part of why I like flying them. And when you're flying into, you know, Bozeman's a bad example. When you're flying into like Tulsa, Oklahoma, do you need to be in a Max? No, you don't need to be in a Max for any of it. But just having those tools available to you when you're going to be in the weather and the terrain, it's just more. It's nice. It's much more nice. Mount Hood. Maybe that's the one. Mount Hood. There's probably Mount Hood back there. It must be hard to go to the NG screen after flying the Max. Lemon Wolf, it is. So when we flew... oh, that was a Max too, yeah. Yeah, it was 2 days of Maxes, and then the last day, day 3, was one leg and an NG, and it's like, oh, teeny tiny. Man, it was a Block 1 NG. And it's quieter. Much quieter. So here is, and I've been tracking this. So, noise difference between Max and NG without vortex generators. I have a noise canceling headset. If I am flying a Block 1 aircraft with no vortex generators, before we get to 250 knots, I'm like, gosh, I need to turn on my noise canceling to medium, because I always take off with it in low or passive, just because I feel like I have more situational awareness. So at a Block 1 aircraft with no vortex generators, before we hit 250 knots or shortly after hitting 250 knots, I'm like, geez, I need to turn on the noise canceling because the wind noise is so loud. On an NG with vortex generators here on the nose, I don't typically reach for my noise canceling until we're accelerating through like 270 knots. You know, so like climbing out, it's louder and I can hear it at 250, but I don't typically find myself reaching for my noise canceling button to go to medium until we're accelerating through 250 knots in an NG with vortex generators. Right around that 270 mark is where I'm like, man, I gotta get the noise canceling on. The max, I got up to cruise and I was like, oh, I should probably turn my noise canceling on. That's the difference. That's straight up. If you want to know the sound, what it sounds like up front, to me, that's the most measurable way. I didn't even think to turn my noise canceling on. I think I turned it on out of 18 because we were going. It was like the captain's mic was a little. The intercom was too loud, and I was like, I can hear you breathing, so I need to turn my intercom down. And I'm like, oh, I should turn my noise canceling on too, or bring it up to medium mode. Daniel Fogelborg, thank you for the 18 months support, man. Appreciate you. Hope all is well. We need some berry. Yeah, we need berry. We need some berry. But we need some max juice. Look at that, dude. We are maxing out the juice on the clouds today. We are maxing out the juice on the clouds. Miss V1 asked me, when am I going to be done? Because we want to get some coffee. Let's see, 17:59, so that's 1 o'clock, so 1:30-ish. Not even. Benefit of flying real time. Pro tip, if you get Chase Plane, get a Stream Deck Plus. Ew. I don't know. I don't know if I want a Stream Deck. I don't have any more. I can't have any more USBs, dude. I have a. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have like a 10 plug adapter, and then I have another adapter, and I still don't have everything plugged in that I need. I have to alternate plugs sometimes. I don't want any more plugs. But what I can use is my hat switch on my tiller, probably, for switching views. That's what I normally do. All right, is it going to be a typical max and overspeed in the descent with a 56 knot tailwind? It sure looks like it. On wind wing overhead for you. Oh, I'd be down for a Boeing one. I don't want an Airbus one. I want a Boeing one. And RTR had reached out to me a while ago, and I responded, and I told them they need to put the little rubber nipples on the overhead panel because without it, it looked really cheap. So then the next rendition I saw, they had rubber nipples on the overhead, like on the switches. All these little white things, they're just little rubber nipples. Some of them fall off. I was like, yeah, I'd definitely take a look at it, do a review for you, but then I never heard anything. So, but if I get any more Boeing hardware, or if any more hardware rather, it's going to be Boeing hardware. I don't think I want any more Airbus hardware. I still love my Throttletek for the Airbus. I got the McDo for the Airbus, or not the McDo. I have the EFIS for the Airbus and the side stick. It's all I need. Just rejoined after a meeting and heard rubber nipples. What's up, Tyson? Perfect time to join. Well, if you would have joined earlier, you would have heard about. We would have heard us talking about the shake weight, how Reset Jet likes to bring his to work. We're VNAV speed. We're right at the clacker. We should probably slow down. What is our transition? Drag required. Yes. 240 at 10. Speed 7.9. We're changing over. Can we please not do 340 knots? Let's change that to 330. Or how about 320? Because I feel like we're going to get ponked here in this descent. I can't fly Airbus without mini FCU? Nah, the mini FCU is great, dude. I love the mini FCU. Simulating Southwest stops today, I see. Did you guys see that thing where it was a Pilatus crossing the runway? And he goes for Southwest, and the guy's like, give way to the Pilatus. Southwest, give way to the Pilatus, cross the runway. And I don't know, something was said to the Pilatus, and he's like, yeah, I got my application in, or he's like, I'm going to apply to Southwest in the future. How was that taxi speed? Was it fast enough? The Southwest guy's like, yeah, that looked great. Freaking Southwest, man. Golly, I know we say the sim looks good a lot of the times, but I feel like in a recent stream, some of the clouds haven't been looking as good. Today's clouds have been fantastic. All around. On all levels. We probably need the ice on. Yeah, we definitely need the ice on. In a max, though, you only want to turn the engine and ice on when you're actually getting icing. Because if you don't, you'll probably melt the acoustic lining and flame out the engine. Because it's super reliable. Alright, STDs through transition. 2976 is set. Wing light is coming on. Logo light's coming on. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Those are coming on. Flight attendants, please prepare for landing. Oh, I said please. Don't say please. Apparently, not allowed to say please anymore. Or I don't know if it's anymore, just in general. They don't want you saying please. Let's keep it 310. Let's knock it back. 310 on the speed. Execute. My latest edition here was one of those mini portable touchscreen monitors. I pop out the screens on it. Makes it much better to use the ND and PFT on the touchscreen of 750. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool, Scalber. Popping out the... I didn't think about that. Al Loper says, instead of using keyboard bindings, I some I've used a Stream Deck with custom icons so I know which the view will show me. Ah, that is clever. So that's what the Stream Deck is all about. Customizing it and then being able to know exactly what the button is without having to think about it. Why not say please? Because that's not the way it's written in the book.
In the book, it does not say please. You are in violation of the company's standard operating procedures. I am putting this in your probationary report.
I don't know why I sounded British, but true story. Watch me get fired before I can even get home based. Is it really hard to become an airline pilot? Are the airline interviews as hard as people say? It's not... Well, it's not easy. But it's not hard in the aspect of, like, physically hard to do. It's more hard in the terms of financially. Are you going to be able to do it financially? Time. Are you going to have the time to do it? It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of commitment. And piggybacking off of time is the length of time it will require to get returns on the investment that you put into becoming an airline pilot, because you're going to spend a lot of money, you're going to spend a lot of time. But in the end, it doesn't even matter because we got so far. No, in the end, it'd probably be worth it if it's what you really want to do. If you get into the industry chasing money or the glamour life, you're gonna quickly find out that that's not the reality of it. I think it's even, in the time of influencers and TikTok, there's been a lot of glorified projections of the industry, and I won't lie, there are some really incredible moments that you'll have, whether it's an airline pilot or corporate pilot or freight, it doesn't matter. You'll see some incredible things. You'll see some things that not a lot of people will ever get to see. So there is definitely some of that, but the false note or the notion that that's the majority of your life as an airline pilot, that's not true. There's going to be a lot of moments where you're like, man, this is what life choices did I make to put myself in this situation? But if you're truly passionate about it, then it's not going to be a problem for you. You're just going to accept it. So keep that in mind. I'm digging the Air Canada eye mask on the 7.3. Chris Stuper, me too, man. I was saying this when we took off. Again, not a huge white livery fan, but Air Canada, black and red here with the eye mask on the Max, I think it looks awesome. I just want to see this thing like sunset, LEDs, full bright, wet effects on the runway. I think it would look so cool. You have to love flying and planes to do this job. If you're not obsessed with them, you will hate it. There you go. That's a very good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, if you're not obsessed with planes and flying, the glamour wears off. The glamour wears off. Oh, we don't have auto start switches. There you go. For all the Southwest fans in chat. All right, 250 below 10. We're looking good. Vancouver traffic, Rouge, 357 out of 10,000 feet, descending via the... What are we on? The Grinders? To 26 left. We're not on the Grinders. That's AJ's dating app. The Grizz. It's alright. It's just Zippy in front of us. I love the Max, but I can't stand the EFB in this rendition. Nikki, you and me both, man. You and me both. But, allegedly, they're supposed to have an update coming out, right?
The traffic at Canada 2014 Heavy Temos from Egrid for reduction level speed 250 for 267.
Alright, let's do this for the juice view. We're going to open everything up here. We're going to go level change, 250, 6,000. And, Air Canada, that was the Airbus 321 in front of us. Where you guys at? Where's Zippy at? I don't want to cut him off. I want to shorten this up here.
Just between Govev and Austin.
Alright, we're going to cut it. Should we cut him off? No, we'll stay on the route. We'll descend to 5. Let's go direct Tagix. Tagix, execute, level change, cinematic view.
Can't cut me off. I'm going to a different runway.
Oh, okay, good. You flying to DC anytime soon? Chris Super, I was just there, not this last trip, but the trip before I was in DC. Why, are you around DC? I'll have to hit you up next time I'm there, buddy. I forgot how sick flying that RNAV, or not the RNAV, well, it is an RNAV, but the River Visual is in DC. Hadn't done that in years. I did that on OE, I also did it. I've actually been in a DC, I don't know, half a dozen times or so since I've started on the 7.3. From never being to DC and since I was in the regional days to being on it now frequently on the 7.3 is pretty nice. Oh, we got to turn the NIS off. We'll destroy our engines. Reliable engines. Oh, that's Pratt & Whitney. The Jake YouTube. Welcome to Commercial Pilot, man. Glad to have you on board, man. Welcome back to the channel, Jake. Appreciate you, buddy. Lemon Wolf, do I like the Air Canada L10 livery? I do. I actually was going to do a stream with that, I believe, but you guys vetoed it. I think the next L10 will be Kai Tech. There's a lot of people that got on this job because they heard of the shortage and the pay post-COVID, and some of them aren't going to last long in it. A lot of burnouts coming. 100%. Could not agree more.
Canada 557, breaking off to arrival, heading 022 for optic And for intercept, try out 26 right.
Alright, he's landing 26 right. You ever flying to Santiago? I do. Haven't been there in a while. What is OE? I am sure. Oh, operation or operating experience. So there's two OEs. Well, most of the time we just say OE because it's shorter. So IOE is initial operating experience. And that is what happened to me when I got hired brand new on the 7.3. I am on the IOE. Now, I believe, because that is initial operating experience. Let's say I were to upgrade, and now I'm going to be a captain on the 7.3. I believe it's actually just OE, because after I upgrade, I'm not doing an initial operating experience, but I still have to do operation. I have to do an operational experience with a check airman in the right seat. I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure. I thought there was two. I thought it actually was two separate things. But IOE, OE, interchangeable most of the time. It's when you are flying with a check airman under supervision. That's essentially what happens. So when you're a new hire, or when you upgrade, or when you change aircraft types, you're going to fly. After your training and sim training, there's going to be a portion of flying, right around 20-25 hours, that you will fly with a check airman next to you. That is a IOE or OE check airman or a check pilot. That's going to be your training in the U.S. Let's continue to descent to 4,000. I don't know how it is in EU land. I know they actually take airplanes out and do bounces with them, which is kind of crazy. All right, we're turning down one here. I'm going to get flight recorder up. All right, cams are on. Flight recorder is ready. Sounds are coming up. I feel like the sounds have been off in recent streams. I'm going to turn it down just a wee bit. Wow, that looks beautiful down there, though. 4 for 3. Just having a struggle bus here. Rouge 357, turn left flight heading 070. 070 will extend the line off Kuiper. Intercept course is 263. Execute.
Vancouver traffic, cruiser at 69, bound at 40 sound, out at 12,000. We're planning the RNAV Yankee from Oakland, Austin.
Vancouver traffic, Rouge 357 at 4,000 feet, turning left base just outside of Kuiper for the ILS 26 left of Vancouver traffic. Flaps 1. The flap sounds are so stupidly good. 567.
Be parallel with the other company.
Ooh, parallel approach. Continue the left turn. Reduce speed 180. Flaps 5. And we're on the visual approach. We're just going to arm it, loc and slope. Real procedure here. We're going to arm LNAV until you're within the fix before the final approach fix. Let's go flaps 10. Help us stay on the slope here. Flaps 5, please. All right, loc is armed. Glide slope is armed. 4,000. Let's go speed brakes. Armed. Green light. Where's my checklist? Did it fall on the floor? I think it did. So before landing, checklist here to the line. Approach briefs complete. Seatbelts on. PA is complete. Recall. 6 checked. Auto brakes 2. HUD not required. Radios and displays. IFZ 263 ref and a barrel set. Cross check to the line. Where's that other Air Canada at?
Heavy, 7,000 feet, turning left base, I believe, for pilot.
I feel like I haven't seen anybody. Oh, that's probably why. Helps if you turn on your traffic. Recording is on.
Vancouver traffic, Canada 2013 on our 5-mile base from Kipper for LS 26 Vancouver.
Look, why have we never flown here before? This is a beautiful approach. Recording is on. Guys, remember, if you like this content, please do hit the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it, believe it or not, guys, it really does help the channel. So if you get anything out of these streams, whether it's entertainment, a laugh, or offended, just hit the like button for me. And you really do help the channel out. I appreciate y'all. Let's see if we can see our Air Canada buddy over there. I don't see him.
Vancouver traffic, Canada 2013 for 60 miles.
So,
on,
pro
LS
tip,
267.
7-3, if you're going to be on an extended 3-degree path, whether it's on the glide slope or on a VNAV path, I feel like a lot of guys hesitate to go flaps 10 because, like, whether they want to go flaps 5, flaps 15. Flaps 10 keeps you on the slope, on speed, beautifully. Flaps 5, depending on the wind, and the weights, and environments, you might get a little bit slippery on the slope. Your auto throttle might be struggling to maintain your ref or your 180 knots. But if you go flaps 10, you can ride that glide slope all the way down, no problem.
2,500.
Captain Canada was in the house. So when I'm in it, I was just listening to you, and I require the Canadian butter. Oh boy, Captain Canada wants us to butter. That's no guarantees, my friend. No guarantees. I was just listening to you and Blue and XP on the podcast, man. That was a great listen. Flaps 10 is cheap flaps. It is. Alberto D says, I get all of the above from this channel. Thank you, Alberto. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the long-time support, dude. Jeez, got the 20-year badge on there. All right, here comes 2,000 feet. What was our ref? 145. I'm not supposed to do what I just did, but gear down. Flaps 15. Look at, there goes the LEM or whatever it's called for the max. Flaps 25. And flaps 30. And flaps 40. See how they decreased just a little bit there? That's good. That's accurate behavior too. All right, spoilers are still slightly up though. That is exactly correct. Trim is running. Below the line, speed brakes armed, green light, gear down in green, flaps 40, green light for landing. Checklist is complete. My autopilot button disconnect is not working, so I'll do that.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stable, clear to land. Vancouver traffic, Rouge 357, short final, 26 left, Vancouver.
Vancouver traffic, Canada 2014 on 267.
Auto throttles away. Now, I'm renting the scenery for 99 cents because you guys said don't buy it because it's FS Dream Team, so we'll see if it's worth it. Give me the FSX vibes.
400.
We're through 500. Stable target sinking 8.
300. Approaching minimums. Minimums. 200.
Don't shoot for 3, but expect 3.
Vancouver traffic, American 821 heavy, turning left.
100.
Kipper for the ILS 26 left.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Check. Oh. I love the max and flaps 40. Now I've got full right rudder, but I don't know what's happening. There we go. It's like 8 knot crosswind. I wouldn't need that much rudder. Deployed. 80.
Traffic, 1697, approximately 30.
Manual brakes. Let's make the reverse high speed. Take the reverse high speed here. Vancouver traffic, Rouge 357, we're clear, runway 26 left, exit terminal, Vancouver. Do you still use flaps 40 with gusty winds? Yes, I do. The reason being, on the NG, I use flaps 40 because it is more sensitive in roll, or more responsive, I should say. And I feel like, I don't know if this is just because I flew the Airbus for 10 years, but my inputs on the control yoke are less, and I feel like I have more control when I'm at flaps 40, when I'm battling the winds, than I do at flaps 30. Flaps 30 in a really gusty conditions, I mean, you're working hard on that yoke. You are working hard. But again, people are scared of flaps 40. Even at my operator, sometimes the captains are like, I want you to land flaps 30. I'm like, okay, well, you're a sissy. All right, after lands, auto brakes coming off. Trim is moving forward. Flight directors are coming off. We're going to park here at gate 14. We're not going to turn off the engines because we're going to go right into replay mode. And I don't remember if this one is the panel state save if they turn back on. I've been doing Captain Canada's technique of just doing the pmdg state save. That's awesome. Like shut it down and then go right into replay. But I don't remember if the max engines come back up at flight recorder. Up. All right.
Vancouver traffic.
Brakes set.
Heavy is going to be actually going on the ILS 26 right approach.
We got somebody out there, a short final. Let's go take a look. What do we got? Oh, we just missed the 777 land. All right. Where's the other guy at? I just missed that 777 land.
Vancouver traffic for track 69, 5 mile final for 26 left, Vancouver.
We'll set the camera over here for 26 left. Totally different on the bus. No one cares what flap setting you land in it. They may make fun of you for attempting to land a flaps 3 on a 320 though. Yeah. On the 7.3 they get all scared of flaps 40 for some reason, man. Well, it's interesting though, Turks, because when I was going through OE or IOE and the Czech airmen, they were all about like, yeah, flaps 40, man, it's better. Then I get on the line and they're like, no, negative. All right, I'm gonna leave the camera here. Actually, I'm just gonna disconnect it. And theoretically, we'd go on the APU bleed on the APU gen and all that good stuff. So we're not going to shut down. But I am going to stop the recording, so we'll be able to get the recording on. We'll get the parking job on the recording. Let's see where these guys are on final. But I love the max.
American 821 heavy 5 mile final for runway 26.
There's someone on short final right now for 26 right. It's a 7.3. That's career track. So, whoa, the with the winglets on the max, I feel like it wants to almost float more. So flaps 40, I feel like is the perfect combination. And honestly, the way the iFly just landed at flaps 40. It felt pretty close to real life, I'm being honest with you. Maybe a little bit of float in there, but I wouldn't, I mean, it felt so decent, I wouldn't even want him to touch it, to be honest with you. All right, let's go full screen, Sam. This is career track. He's going to smash this one. Oh, my gosh. Why does he look like he's going so fast? That must have been like a lag out or something. That guy looked like he was going 200 knots on final. Now that's career track if I've ever seen one. Lag spike on that one, probably. That was a flap 0. He's not going to have any flaps left. All right, let's see. I think there was one more guy.
I'm not going to land flaps 15 again.
Yeah. Oh, he was at flaps 15? Doing 300 knots, probably. Oh, there's a heavy MD-11 on final. We got to catch the MD-11. Hey, that MD-11 on final. You guys landing on the right side or the left side? I want to see this MD-11.
26 right for American A21 Heavy.
You should sidestep 26 left. Don't be scared.
Alright, we'll see if we can.
I'm gonna. This guy's gonna get all.
Vancouver traffic, WestJet 1697, turning left base, join the 26 left visor.
Uh-oh. All right. Don't do that. Oh, he's far enough out. WestJet is far enough out. So you're.
Vancouver traffic, crew track 69, clear 26.
I'm looking at the web eye.
Runway 31, back to FCOM.
WestJet is. He's still far out. He hasn't turned
Alright,
down.
American A21 Heavy is making the sidestep to runway 26 left.
All right. So I want to see this MD-11, and then we're gonna. Watch our replay. There he is. It's an MD-11. I wait for tri-jets. You know, if you follow me in the conga line, I try to get the landings in. I see you guys land when I can. If you're in a tri-jet, you have like a 2x% chance I'm going to wait to see you land. Especially a sidestep. This guy's going to probably be so unstable, he's going to cartwheel it. V1 is the devil on the shoulder. I know, right? I feel like I should have been as... I didn't want to play air traffic control. I don't want to get in trouble.
To be honest, I wouldn't really expect anything fantastic from this landing.
American A21, sidestep 26 left, runway 26 left, clear to land. WestJet 1123, continue downwind, I'll call your base turn.
It is looking pretty good.
I appreciate your confidence in me.
I got to make sure my rotational speed is at maximum. I keep getting spam calls, Turks. I'm thinking it's ECS. It's scaring me.
I need to request an ATP MD-11 livery.
There he is. Lear 35 win. Bomb tech soon, man. Soon TM.
WestJet 1121, turn left, heading 350, descend and maintain 4000, vectors for the ILS 26 left approach.
No, I didn't transmit that. I'd get in trouble. But he's turning space behind him. Someone did just hack the website. That is true, Turks. Oh, no. Another Iveo premium lag spike. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. Gosh, tri-jets are still the best, man. New channel idea, V1 ATC on Iveo. That looked a little bit wobbly, but right on the markers. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Someone else does it. Look at the clouds. Can we just look at the cloud variation right now? This looks really good. You got this smooth, wavy cloud over here. The lights coming through. I mean, man, the sim was showing out today. Nicely done, man. Good job. All right, let's go watch our landing. Let's get out of here.
Thank you. If there's any traffic behind me, I'm still on the runway. I'm going to take this next exit right here.
You got any wheels left?
We got a few of them.
All right, let's watch our replay. I'm going to disconnect from the servers. We're done. Replay's up. Let's see how we did. Fire in the hole. Gears down. Flaps are coming down. We get to see and hear the flap all the way. Love it. It almost looks like Mammatus clouds. You're right, Booby. That's what I was going to say. L1011 still king. I know it is. I agree. All right, flaps 40, downtown Toronto looks good. Now, oh, the throttles don't move. Oh, that's such a bummer. You won't get any thrust in replay with this thing. All right, I guess I should have shut it down anyway. All right, well, let's run it forward. I'm going to turn off the Brunner yoke because my stick shaker is it's giving me PTSD. Alright, Brunner yoke is disconnected. Flaps 40 is coming in. It wasn't all the way in there. Yeah, the terrain looks great, man. This is my first flight into Vancouver on stream. We're definitely coming back here. Gosh, I love Flaps 40. Look at that. We should take the toothpaste 777. You know, I love that toothpaste colored Air Canada 777 out of Vancouver. You have to manually move the thrust levers with replay? Well, I'm moving them. That's the thing, though. I'm moving them, and they're still not moving. You got a 24-hour Vancouver next month, Turk? Nice. Hold it. Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. I think we did pretty good there. I don't know why we got blown off center line a little bit, but we corrected. Nose came down pretty much on the center line. I like how Canada, I feel like they give you wider center lines. Let's see how that touchdown looked from the outside. I don't know why I can't get the throttles to move. Flap 40. Arrest the descent. Oh, I will take that. One continuous flare. Hold the nose, fly it down. Love it. Ooh, you're spending the afternoon in Stanley Park? Nice, man. Yeah, I don't know why. You see, like, I can move the throttles up, but I get no response, no juice. No juice. Alright, well, you know what that means. It's sail time. Replay. Let's see how we did. Resume. And we guess we should set up the flyby cam. We'll do that here in a minute. Alright, guys, I appreciate you all for tuning in for another last-minute live stream. Well, I guess this one wasn't that last minute. I scheduled it last night. Tomorrow will be last minute if we do stream. If we do stream, tomorrow will be last minute. We might be in a Duke, or we might be in a Baron or a Bonanza. I'm not sure yet. Again, if I stream tomorrow, that means I'm not working tomorrow, which means it'll be a good day. If not, I will see you guys probably over the weekend. So I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. I enjoyed the little conga line traffic. Oh my gosh, what a touchdown. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's reset for replay cam here. Let's do this. Reset you. This. Oh, dang it, I screwed it up. That's the angle right there. Mike85, thanks for the stream. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow, possibly, if we do go live tomorrow, I love Flaps 40 in the max. It will be in some sort of piston-driven aircraft. Thank you all for the support, the bank angle checks, the hitting the like button, the super chats, just hanging out and having a good old afternoon with me here. I don't take your time for granted. I enjoy all the conversations we do have. And remember, my little confessional that I told you in cruise, don't you go telling everybody now that I ordered 3 desserts room service, all right? You guys are awesome. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. I'll catch you on the next one. Soup! Sexy crab.